Hey friends, welcome back to the channel, Creatively Sandra. If you are new here, thank you so much for joining, and for those returning, thanks for coming back. We are doing something a little different today. We're going to a pin event. So Mickey's of Glendale, which is California based, is in town in Orlando for a pin event, and it's a shopping event. So we get to purchase some Mickey's of Glendale pins. I think there will be special pins for the event. There will also be, I don't know, just what they normally carry. We really have no idea. There's not a list that came out in advance. There's not signups. We bought a ticket, we're going, and I'm also bringing pins to trade. So usually at these type of events, especially at this location, it's at Coronado Springs in their convention center, they'll do trading surrounding the event. So people are sitting in the halls and pulling out their pin books, doing some trading. So we're gonna see about that. My friend has already arrived there, said there wasn't so much of that yet, but I think as the days go on, it'll get more populated. So everybody has a 30-minute slot to shop. Ours is not till noon, but we're going a little bit early to get in on the trading possibly, or get in line early, we'll see. But let me show you what I'm bringing. I'm gonna turn the camera around. I'm bringing my big pin folio, and I'm also bringing a cart. But anyway, let me turn it around and show you. Okay, so this is my pin folio book, and it is huge and heavy. You can wear it as a backpack. I think it's called like the Elite, maybe? It probably says it on here. Oh, the Regal by Go Pin Pro. So you can see that it's a case where it has pages in it that come out. So you have the pin pages, like a foam page, and then it slips into a pocket. So you can take them in and out, but it gets really heavy. So I am bringing the Zuka cart. I have it unzipped, which I bought used. It's for figure skaters, but the really cool part is when you take the bag off, and the handle works just like the handle works just like at a suitcase. So it is on here, on the handle. It has this folder pocket thing that goes down over the handle. I don't know what those are called, but it's there. It's heavy, it's hard to take off. I'm gonna do that and I'll show you what's inside. But also the Zuka has a seat. So it is a great thing to have with you because it holds pin books as well, which I'm not doing today, but it has compartments for that. It has pockets on the side, but the best part is it holds somebody sitting on it. So that is a seat here. And let me take the pin book off and I'll show you. Okay, so here it is without the pin book on it. And you see this is a handle as well as a seat. So you can lift it up by this to put it in and out of the car. It's pretty lightweight on its own, but the other great thing is that it has these wheels that allow you to roll up a steps if you need to. And normally I have pin books in here. Today I just have things like snacks and my water and a board where I'm gonna put my traders, the ones I collect. So it's pretty empty. I'm bringing it mainly to have the seat portion in case there are long lines. It's nice to have and sit. But the other thing is that my pin bag is so heavy that having it on the handle and being able to carry it around that way is really going to be helpful. So let's take a look at the pin book. Okay, so here is the book. Like I said, it opens up. So I've got this folder, these clips on here to close it up. And then the bag opens like this. And so you have a little pocket in the front. I can put my business cards in there. And I've got some in this zipper pocket. I'm holding some of the backer cards. I'm also holding some backs of the pins in case people need backs when they trade. And then I have all of my traders in here, almost all of my traders, because I'm also doing a Pin and Pop online event as well. So like I said, the pages, these pockets zipper open, and you can pull the whole foam board out. I'm not gonna do that now, but I've organized the pins. There's a lot of glare on here, so I can't really show you specific pins, but I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pages, and I still have another pocket. And I didn't put anything in this one because my book was getting so thick, and like I said, it just gets heavy. And I'm actually going to change out of this because it is very cumbersome when you're going to an event where you can't sit down and you're going to carry this around and pass it off to people to view your pins. Like when I walk up to a table to trade, I have to pick this thing up, lug it over the table, hand it to them. They've got to be able to set it down to look through it. And so it's quite cumbersome, even though I love, love, love how much it holds. So this is going with me. Like I said, the main event here is shopping, but I am hoping that there's a good amount of trading as well and that it's worth bringing my traders. So let's get started and we'll go see what it's like. So we are here and people are here and in and shopping. I'm seeing people come out with huge bags of stuff. So there's a lot in there. From here, you can't see too much, but you can see that there's t-shirts. There's got to be some huge sets or something because I see people coming out with what looks like boxes in bags. And right now they've got it very well organized. So you can see there's not even much lines outside. The people over here are lining up for the 11 o'clock slot, I believe. I think the 10:30 people just went in or went into like a holding space in there. So pretty calm event. And then there are some traders down here, you'll see in the hallway and around the corner. However, the Coronado Springs has a lobby, and that's where a lot of people go to do the trading because it has seats and tables and all that. So at some point we'll make our way over there. I may stay over here until we go in because they seem to be letting people in sort of early. So my slot, I think I mentioned, is at noon. I have some friends that are in there now that should be coming out soon, so we'll get the real deal on what's happening in there and what's available. But like I said, I see people coming out with huge bags. I've seen a family that went out with huge bags and went back in to pick up more bags. So I'm imagining resellers are doing some damage in there. So we'll see, but it's looking good and I'm excited. Stay tuned for more details. Okay, so we are at home now, and you might be realizing that I completely failed at vlogging that event. So we were caught up in pin trading and waiting for our turn and waiting in line, and I just never pulled out the camera again except to document some of the trades. So I'm going to tell you about the event, and then I'm going to go into some of the pin trading that we did. So we got there 2 hours before our time to go in. And when I say we, I was meeting a couple friends there. I had bought a guest ticket for a friend that was joining me. We were meeting 2 other friends, but we had 3 different time slots. So one was earlier than us, one was later than us. So we were also waiting for each other to come in and out so we could hear what was good, what we should look for, all of that stuff. How was it? Everything. So we sat down in the lobby and kind of hung out and did some pin trading while we waited, which was fun. And supposedly there was more pin trading down in the lobby. So this was at Coronado Springs and Resort, and they have a convention center, and there were some places to sit. There's a lobby that we did a lot of pin trading in. At the last event I attended there, but a lot of people were just plopping on the floor. We didn't want to go too far because we were waiting for our time to enter. And they did let you sort of line up. It was very organized. I do appreciate that. They had like, you know, a 10 o'clock line and people lined up for that. And it was maybe 50 people go in and then another start of a line. And then they kind of moved that one up. And when they actually started letting you in at your time, they let like 1/3 of the people go and then another third. So it was never like too packed. And some of you were getting in earlier than your time, like as the space freed up and others finished, then they let another line in. So that was great, and I thought they were very well organized. It did have kind of a long checkout line. They had a lot of cashiers, I'd say like 7 or 8 of them, but it still depending on, I think it probably got worse at the end because if you found less, then more people were coming out. But we were seeing people come out with huge bags of stuff. I even saw one family that walked some bags to the car, went back, got some more bags that they had already paid for. So definitely some resellers doing some shopping there. I was really looking for trade items. So let's start with what they gave us free. Now, this was a little disappointing because I was told there was, actually, I think it was like on the information they printed out or had on the website that you would get an event exclusive pin. And I feel like I read that there would be new pins to purchase, like at least one that was specific to the event. And that really didn't happen. What they gave us was a bag when we walked in, which was nice because you could use that for your shopping if you want. But they also had some totes we could do our shopping in, like baskets. And inside this bag was your free pin. It was very random. Some people got a whole box set. My friend Emily from Emily Loves Pins, you can check out her channel, but she got a whole Marvel set and another pin that was a pretty good one. I'll show you what I got. Some of us got, one of my friends got a Proud Family pin that was a D23 pin. Mine is also a D23 pin, but it is from Freaky Friday. So, wah, wah. I don't think this is even a good trader. We'll see. Maybe somebody will love it and it'll be perfect and the trade will work out. But I was a little disappointed. Being that Emily went in first, she got a box set plus another pin. I thought we were all going to get two things in our bags, and it was very, like I said, random. So once you went inside, and by the way, I was told by some friends that this could be a disappointing event, that it was mostly leftovers. But since I hadn't attended a D23 event or Mickey's of Glendale at all, I thought, well, leftovers would be good for me because maybe they're discounted and I didn't have access to the things that they sell any other way. So sure, why not? And we literally only paid, I think it was $15 for the ticket and then a $3 service fee. So it was like 18 bucks. So not bad. And we got to do lots of pin trading. So that was good. Now, what they had in the store, they did have a lot of clothing that I was surprised about. So they had sweatshirts, there were spirit jerseys, there were jackets, and they were like, they had Sorcerer Mickey. They had some Muppet stuff. They had classic Mickey, like the comic strip patterns, and everything that they did in like a clothing line. There were other things that went with it. It might have been a stuffed animal. It might have been water bottles. They had some magnets and picture frames and things like that. When we went in, there were a couple of huge, very expensive pieces of art. Well, not art. They were pin displays. So if you framed a set of pins beautifully, that's what it would look like. They had a couple of those for sale. Very expensive, not something I was looking for. And then, of course, they had pins. Now, we had seen some people come out and what they showed us. And so the first thing we were really going for and looking for was some of the map pins from D23. And they came in these type of boxes. I'm going to show you. These were originally $74.95 at D23, and they were marked down to $40. So that was good. A good value for this. I don't think these will trade at a $75 value. I think people would probably not get their value back, but at a $40 value, I think it'll be a great trader and probably go a little higher than that. They can also be taken apart because this is the sets that have the map and 3 pins that go with it. And we'll get a little closer on this one. So this is the Frozen set that was available. And so you see there's a scene on the large pin, and it's actually like 3 scenes. Like you could turn it and let's see. So there's like the ice castle, there's the regular castle, and then there's sort of the cabin in the woods. So cabin, what's that? Ice castle, regular castle. So I don't know how you display these, but they each have a place to put a pin. So sort of like the Build-A-Pin sets. And so the little pins are adorable that these came with, and they are Elsa, Anna, and Kristoff. I always want to say Sven, but it's Kristoff. And this is a limited edition 400 Walt Disney Imagineering exclusive. Now I did want to pick up, they only had certain ones left. I know they had, for a while, they had Alice and Snow White, this one, Frozen. They had a ton of Coco. Nobody was buying the Coco, apparently. And then they had Zootopia and Peter Pan. I wanted to get a Zootopia for trade and one to keep, but when we got to the checkout, we found out you could only buy one of each on these, so I had to put one back. So this is the Peter Pan one. Let me take off the, and they come beautifully boxed. So you see Never Never Land. I think you see like Skull Rock and the ship. And then you see the Big Ben scene there. And then the characters, you've got Peter, Wendy, and Tinkerbell. And they are super cute. Okay, so then the last one of these that I got, oh, it was a little crazy too because they were in these cover slips and you had to either pull them all out to find it or you know what number you needed. We did get a little hint on the numbers because Emily came out first with some of those. So the last set I got is one that I will keep, and that is the Zootopia set, and I was very excited about this one. Let's see. So, I don't know if I'll be able to tell you the places, but it has the train that goes through to Metropolis from, like, Judy Hopps' home with her family, and then that big donut on the top of the building down in I said Metropolis, Zootopolis, whatever it's called. But anyway, this one is super cute. And the characters that come with it are Clawhauser and then Nick and Judy. I think I've got Judy, oh, I've got all of them upside down there because the whole thing goes this way. This might be long with my explanations, by the way, because I'm going to show you the traders too. Okay, so Nick, Judy, and Clawhauser, and they are adorable. Even if you didn't want the big pin, those are just so cute to put on a board and maybe have as fillers or something. All right, the next pins we bought are not pins at all. So when Emily came out, she showed us these, and we were pretty excited about them, but we tried to open them and tried to get them out of the box and couldn't figure it out. And then when we went in, we grabbed some. So it was me and Iz from Disney Living. You'll want to check her out too. I'm sure they're both going to show results of the events or the trades we did, things like that. I went over to the Muppets and grabbed some of these boxes. And originally we were told these were not on sale, but I think they were 40% off, 50% off, I believe. And I will check that. Yeah. So these were originally $29.95. Well, $17.97, so I think that's 40% off, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, I'm not doing math here, but this is adorable. It's in this package, and we were like, why? Why is the pin in this giant package? Like, is there a reveal and conceal? What's going on here? These are limited edition of 400 as well. And if you already know this, then you're just like, wow, Sandra, I don't know why you didn't see this right away. But on the back, they showed you the front and the back of said pin, or what they would look like. Well, they're not pins at all. They are actually like a little stand. I don't even know if I can get one out. And this is how we didn't know, because we couldn't get Emily's out when we were trying. I pulled the whole thing out like this, because we were able to get the foam out like this, and there was nothing on the back. You couldn't tell that either. Let me see if I can, oh yeah, I can get them out. Okay, so no pin post. That is the back of the pin, and I keep calling it a pin because I thought that's what it was, but they are like a little easel, and they actually, I didn't even try this. Is it taped together? It sure is. Oh my goodness, I can't even show you guys. I don't know if I can get one of these off, but I'll try to put it in. This one actually is not an easel. It's solid one piece. Okay, never mind. So it's just gonna stand and display like that. I'm checking on my table. It does stand. Okay, so you can display it just like that or just like this with your collection, but it is not a pin to go in your pin books or on your pin board. I'm glad I only got 2 of these. Wait, does it have a... I'm just seeing if there's anything in here that would make it be on a stand or something. I thought the other ones were. Okay, and then the other one I picked up is Miss Piggy. So I only got 2. I was only going to get 2 either way. The villains that I'm about to show you, I had more in hand. I thought those would be awesome traders. And then when they told me they were not pins, I put a bunch back. So again, these were $29.95 originally. I paid $17.97. Somebody will want them, I think. I hope. But that was a little disappointing that they weren't pins. And so I will show you the other set that is very similar. And they are the villains, limited edition, same price, same sale. And they had so many of the villains. I think they had 8 different villains in this set. I had another Maleficent. I had Queen of Hearts in hand. I thought I'd keep some, trade some. So I got the Evil Queen. I said another Maleficent. This is the Maleficent one. Now, they are adorable. The box is very cute. And this is what that looks like. Let me see if I can pull this one out. I'm gonna break my nails here. Okay, this is the same thing. I thought they were easels. So first I thought they were pins. Then when we knew they weren't pins, I thought they were a little easel, but it is the same thing. And the reason I thought that was an easel is because they had a little display case of these and they showed both sides. I don't know. We were just overwhelmed apparently and not paying attention. And so this is, again, just a little, not a figure, it's metal. It's made like a pin, but much thicker. If you can see that. And it is not a pin. So I have 4 of these. I can't trade it like a pin. Lugging the box to a pin event would be not great. The back of the box is awfully cute as well. They had Gaston, they had Ursula, they had, is it Frollo? They had Chernabog, a lot of the villains. So that was kind of fun. But again, they are not pins. So, oops. Okay. We did get some other pins, so they did have, there were some that were not on sale at all. They were at full price. They had a beautiful, beautiful Incredibles pin. It was a jumbo, like bigger than I've ever seen in a pin size. And I was told they had a 3 Caballeros one as well, but those were both, well, Caballeros one was gone. The Incredibles one was like $100. And I feel like one of the cast members or staff told us that those were half price. I picked up some of the other ones, and when we got up to the register, they were at full price. And so those are, I picked up Mr. Incredible, and this is a beautiful pin. I don't collect the Incredibles, but this is just as thick as those other ones. I'm going to take one out of the package. It is pin on pin, but it's like that poster style, but it is huge. It is a large pin, and it is gorgeous. And these were $32-ish. So I got this one for Trader, and I got a Syndrome. They had Dash, they had Mrs. Incredible, they had, what's the daughter? I'm going to say the wrong name, so I won't say it. But they had the daughter. I think they even had Frozone. But I just stuck with 2 because they were at the full price on those. So we got a couple of those. I did buy 1 t-shirt. These were 50% off, and I got the Bayou Adventure shirt. Tiana's Bayou Adventure. So this is a cute one. Nothing else on it. Just a plain, but I thought that was fun for the price. It was originally $27.99. So half price on that. And then there was 2 other items that were full price. Again, one of them I didn't realize. It was, but I got this journal, which has Sorcerer Mickey on it, kind of embossed or debossed. Embossed, I guess. And so it's just a nice little journal, nothing but plain stuff on the inside. And I got a pen to go with it. Not to go with it necessarily, but it is a Walt Disney Imagineering pen. And I just thought it was a really nice pen. And turns out it was really nice because it was not exactly cheap either. So if you can tell, we weren't like, this is the best event ever. But it was fun to try it. And even at $18, I think I would do it again. I just obviously would go in with a totally different expectation. Okay, a couple more pins that were full price were Sorcerer Mickey, and this one was $8.95 or $9.95, and they had a small version, and that one was $7.95. So I thought these were awfully cute, and they had tons of these. The other items, some of them they had tons of. There were other pins. Apparently at the beginning of the day, you know those giant, heavy 100 years pins they had at D23? I think they were D23, but they apparently had all of those. There was like 50 or 100 of them, different characters. I actually own a couple of them. They had some of those characters, but apparently those sold out early on. Definitely before our time to go in. And then I did pick up a cast lanyard of Sorcerer Mickey as well. And that is it. Oh, wait, no, one other thing. Okay, so I asked about the exclusive pin, and one of the cast members started to tell me, well, that's the pin you got in your bag when you came in, the free pin. And I was like, okay, those are not exclusive to this event. So that is not it. Well, then they had 2 pins for sale, which again, I thought were supposed to be exclusives, but they weren't. They're from like the cruises. This says the Disney Treasure. It was a little $3 pin. You can't see it very well. This is also, I think they said Minnie Mouse. It looks like Mickey Mouse to me, but it is Mickey Mouse as a pirate, I guess. Tiny little, yeah, $3. I figured why not, but was not really impressed. So overall, the best part of the event was seeing friends and pin trading. But I can't say I wouldn't do it again. I probably would do it again. Just have a different expectation next time. So let me show you what I traded. Okay, so the first couple of trades, I got some really fun pins that I am dying to get. And how can I show you these? I'm just going to show you open. So I am trying to get some of the Princess and the Frog Adorbs. So I was able to trade for a couple of those. One is more very low end and one a little higher. I got Dr. Facilier. So these are limited edition, and they are limited to, well, that is not it. They're limited of 400. And there's no way for me to purchase these pins, so they have to be through trade. So I'm just going to keep trying till I can get a set. So I've got Facilier, and then I've got Tiana's dad as well. So 2 of the fellas. I think I got one in Pin and Pop trade this weekend too. One of the side guys, not very impressive, but I'm still happy to be getting any of that set that I can. And then this is Fidget, I believe. And he is a limited edition from last year or the year before when they came out with the Mechanical Mystery set. So he was part of a mystery pack, his limited edition or limited release on this one. And he's got kind of a rose gold backer there. And then I was able to trade for one of the new Hidden Mickeys, the one I wanted most, which is Sadness. So she's been added to the collection. I did a couple others because looking for something, somebody wanted something of mine, and if it's not something I'm tied to or really high value, I'll see if I can find something in their book to trade and make something that'll make a good trader. So I got this little C-3PO, kind of a cartoony one, and I picked out this one for me, a Queen of Hearts, and I don't think I have her in this form. So, I have her right on my board. I lied. I thought she was awful cute. At least my taste is consistent, but I will make her a trader. And then I got one of the castles from the Hidden Mickey, which is also something I want to collect, the castles. And I got one of the ear hats. So this is also from the new collection, and it is Stitch, but I am getting Stitch because he's part of the collection. And then one other loose pin for that trade. And again, this was all just sitting on the floor outside of the event. This is, I believe this was a mystery series of the villains, maybe a box lunch set. Yeah, it looks like box lunch. And I didn't even start this set yet, so I was glad to add that one. Okay, and then I traded, I met a lovely young lady that wanted my Tiana Happily Ever After pin that was only available on the Shop Disney site, and I traded her for the Lion King one, which I hadn't picked up. So the Tiana one was an extra because I had bought two, and these are beautiful. These are limited edition. They only came out on Shop Disney, and that is it with the two sides out. So beautiful pin there. Okay, and then my next trade was with a really nice guy that I wanted to make the trade work. So I took two of these pins as traders. I already own this Inside Out 2 pin. This was a box lunch one as well, but it's fabulous and it's gonna make a great trader. And then this one, which I did need initially, but I traded for it recently on Pin and Pop. So this will be a trader as well. Okay, and then the last thing for this event was two open edition pins. And I believe I did these. Oh, the Cruella and this pin I traded with my friend Debbie. So Debbie was another friend that was there. So I've mentioned Iz from Disney Living. I've mentioned Emily from Emily Loves Disney, and Debbie from the Disney Nana. Her and her husband came for the event as well, and her and I did a trade, and I gave her a couple of Hidden Disneys, and I got this one, which is a fairly new open edition pin featuring Queen of Hearts and some of the other Alice in Wonderland characters. And then the Cruella we traded for, and then I had loved this one. She just ended up giving it to me, but I love this little angry Donald. He's adorable. He is mad. Okay, so that is everything from the Mickey's of Glendale event and pin trading at the event. So that was it. I left about 2 o'clock, so we did a little bit of trading before, a little bit after, and came home to work on my Pin and Pop trades. So Pin and Pop is also going on this weekend. How I managed to do both is I pulled out and set aside the pins that I was going to put on my Pin and Pop table. If you haven't checked them out yet, you can look at some of my other videos. I'll try to include some in the links down below in the description. But they are a great way to trade online. You ship off all your trades. You wait a month or so because it's a lot of traders. It's got to be all organized, and then she sends them back to you. So I still wanted to participate. Fortunately, it was only a 2-day event this weekend. It started Saturday afternoon, so I could list all my pins. I just didn't make any offers till I came home because I knew I didn't want to offer something that I may have traded away. So I just had to keep track of that. So that's, I was going to say still going on as we speak, but it's not. It ended at 3 o'clock today. It's Sunday when I'm recording this, and I'm not sure which day I'll post this week, but you will see it. But I was getting ready to go do some errands, and Emily messaged me. So she was heading over to Pin HQ because they were also having a pin trading event today. By the way, there was another event yesterday held at one of the hotels nearby, but we didn't go to that one. But when she called, or when she texted, I decided I also had wanted to go out there to look at a new pin bag because the one I have is so heavy and bulky that I decided to go. Well, we ended up both buying a $10 table, sitting down and trading for a couple of hours, and it was really good. I was not going to collect the Hidden Disneys. I ended up getting a bunch of those. Emily and I also did a trade that we had kind of been talking about online,
but we ended up doing it in person, so it didn't count for Pin and Pop. But she gave me this Alice storybook. They're called pop-up books. It was a series, I don't even know how old, but it is so cute. Look at that white rabbit inside. He is dimensional, so it's like pin on the inside. There's a little bit of kind of starting of the story. Yeah, Alice was lazily daydreaming once upon a time, blah, blah, blah. It's super cute. So I'm very excited to have that, and that is a limited edition of 4,000. So thank you, Emily. I actually traded her one of the chasers she needed for the hidden Disney ones. All right, so let's just dive in. I also got this trade, which was major and excellent because these pins sold out in a couple of hours, but it is the Dining with Disney, and this is the Toy Story one. So it is Roundup Rodeo, and these, like I said, sold out immediately. The other two that came before this, Pizza Rizzo, and I don't remember the other one, but the other ones did sell out very quickly as well, so I was very excited to get that. I had a trade to work out for a higher value pin, so I picked a couple of this person's pins. There's actually one more. I think I did a hidden Disney, but I got these two Paris pins, so they are villains of Jafar and Captain Hook. I don't know about this. I might keep the Captain Hook in my collection. The Jafar will go as a trader, definitely. I don't collect that, even though he is really cute for a little evil guy. I got one of the, this is not on a backer card, but it's one of the Alley Bowling series. I had been collecting that. I wasn't collecting all of them, but you know, what happened is I had one in my book. Somebody came and wanted to trade. I think I had Kuzco, and she wanted to trade Mulan, and I was like, no problem. We'll just trade that. I'll leave it in the book because I'm just swapping traders in that case because I already had Mulan. And then somebody else came by and wanted that one for this one, so that worked out nicely. All right, I'm saving all my hidden Mickeys to show you at once. But I also got this. I had seen this. I think it was in the Character Warehouse too. I just love Miss Piggy. That's kind of fun, and I love the glitter and glam of it. I also got one of the headphones. So this is the Mickey one, and I think I only traded one of the ones I had this weekend, so I've almost got a complete set of these. I added this Rapunzel to my collection. So she was part of the Chef series. It was a Disney Parks mystery set. I got this one, which is a box lunch or Hot Topic series of the dresses. And I hadn't bought any yet, so somebody had a bunch of these, so I chose Tiana. This one, I really was just trying to make the trade work. I'll probably, I don't know. But it's Finding Nemo or Dory. Well, it's Nemo and Dory. It was also from a Park Series mystery set, I believe. But I thought that one was really cute. And then, to make it work, I got a Figment with the rainbow, because Figment's popular, so he'll be a good trader. I also grabbed this one. This woman had a ton of Easter pins, and I actually under traded on my part. Traded her a $20 pin for this $15 pin. It's close enough. There was something she really wanted. She didn't really have anything that I particularly wanted, but wanted to make the trade work. It's a dated pin. I'm not totally thrilled about that, but I don't know if we'll keep it or, you know, have a little Easter collection, something like that. This one is super fun. So a woman came over, there was a pin she wanted of mine. She also had a table, so I had to truck on over there. I was a little worried because she had she had pins and books, and they were so many dated. They were a lot of older pins and dated pins and not really stuff I was interested in, but then her husband pulled out this one, and it might have a little wear on it, but because I have a photography, photo, selfie kind of collection, I thought this would be really cute. So it is a little photo album of Donald and Goofy. So Donald and Goofy's photo album, and it's got this thing on the bottom is usually there for artist choice pins, and that's actually what it is. It's an artist choice. You see it on the paintbrush and pencil, and then it opens. So it is a hinge pin. It opens and it has, well, actually it only has photos of Donald in here. I don't know what happened to Goofy. And some little, it's like a scrapbook because there's little notes in there. You can see kind of. But it says like, us getting there. Oops, my finger. Oh, this is like Goofy putting his finger in the way, taking pictures. We had lots of fun. Gosh, us leaving again. Very cute. And this is a 2007 pin, I think. And it is a limited edition 1000. Okay, 2 more pins, and then I'm going to show you the, oops, sorry, 3 more pins. This was another park series, and I have one other, and it is the candles, the princess candles. And this is Belle. I traded a little boy this, I think, very fake pin. At least I'm pretty sure it's a fake. He wanted my Yoda pin. Those were from the Character Warehouse, so it was fine. I probably paid $3 or $4 for it, so we traded for this. I don't think he was really taking no for an answer anyway. He was already taking it out of his book to give me because I said it was cute, and he was taking my pin, so it was a done deal. Usually, a lot of people keep a little set of pins on the side to trade with kids because they very often have scrappers. All right, and then this was one of my last trades. This couple had a lot of Artland pins, and I just got this as a trader to make the trade work, and it is from Coco. Ooh, I'm gonna get the villain's name wrong. But it is cool. It is sparkly. Ooh, can you see that? I don't think you can, so let me take it out of the pack. Thanks for sticking with me on this one. It is long and a lot of chatting. Okay. Ernesto de la Cruz, I think. And he is in a sparkly suit. Artland pins are amazing. This is a limited edition of 250, and it is number 136 of 250. So officially licensed from Artland. So these are Disney licensed pins. They are tradable in the parks even. I would never ever trade one of these in the parks, but they're there. So that was fun. Okay, so now my hidden Disneys. Let's show you. I've got some from the Blue collection, some from the hats collection, some from the ears collection. I'm also trading for some of these on Pin and Pop, but this is where we landed. And actually, 1 or 2 of these I already traded away and then got a new one for myself. So a couple of the 25 years. We've got Ariel, Dopey, and Mickey. And then we've got the Hatbox Ghost, Gaston, and Thumper for the D pins. We've got Dory and Hades for the blue pins, plus I have Sadness, and then we've got 3 of the Donalds, the Valentine's, the 4th of July, and the St. Patrick's Day. 2 of the castles, one is Haunted Mansion, the other is, I don't know, it's just blue, and it says Mickey on it, and then 1 of the ear headbands, which is kind of the candy one. So it's got a Dole Whip, and it looks like a lollipop candy on there, and Minnie Mouse's bow. So, yeah, I don't know what the blue one is supposed to represent on the castle, but it's cool. And that is it, folks. So, like I said, thanks for sticking with me on this. I apologize for not completing the vlogging, but this is a weekend of pin trading at 3 different events, sort of at the same time, and it's a lot to manage because I had to make sure I wasn't trading away something I had already promised in the online event. So I don't really recommend it, but if you do it, definitely pull your pins out, pull those aside, hold off on making offers. I did take a lot of pictures of things I traded away so that I could come back and update my inventory. So that'll be correct. And that's a good tip, right? So when you are trading things, I've done this before where I've traded something that I thought I had still, but I had already traded it away at an in-person thing. So you want to make sure you're not doing that. So capturing the photo is a good way document it, and then come home and remove it from your inventory online. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Next time, I hope to show you more of the event and what's in there, but I hope it gave you a good idea of how that all went, and we'll do better on the next one, okay? Pin headquarters is the Pin HQ for GoPin Pro. Did I even say that was the event we went to today? But that was great. I'll try to film one of those in the future as well, but did a lot of trading at that one. So definitely a great weekend for trading. Thanks again for sticking with me. Leave me a comment down below if you went to the event, if you enjoyed it, if there's a favorite pin of yours today that I traded or purchased, let me know. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I will see you guys on the next one. Bye.